It's time to sit back, relax, and listen to Conversations with Joan. Conversations with Joan will inspire, motivate, and empower you. Live your best life now. Listen, learn, think, and decide. And now, here's your host, Joan Herman.
Welcome to Change Your Attitude, Change Your Life's Conversations with Joan. I'm Joan Herman. Thanks for tuning in. Conversations with Joan focuses on topics that are important to your life, from health and wellness to professional development to personal well-being. Change makers join me to share their insights, tips, and strategies so you can thrive and live your best life now. Thank you for taking time for yourself, and thank you for letting us be a part of your life. Now, let's start talking. People love the idea of angels, especially at Christmas time. We create statues of angels, we decorate with angels, and we make them look beautiful and loving. But what do we really know about angels and how they can impact the way we live? Today's guest, Lorna Byrne, has been seeing and talking to angels since she was a baby. She joins us today to offer a unique insight into the angelic help that is around us and available to us all the time. Lorna is a spiritual teacher, international best-selling author, and philanthropist. She's the author of 7 best-selling books, including Angels in My Hair, A Message of Hope from the Angels. She's the founder of the Lorna Byrne Children's Foundation and the Seraph Foundation. Welcome, Lorna. Thank you so much for coming back on the show.
Well, it's my pleasure now to be talking with you again, Joan, and especially at this very special time of the year as well, when we can open our hearts a little bit more. I love the way you spoke of the angels. You know, that time we decorate our homes with them, you know, we put them on top of the Christmas tree and everything. And I suppose angels, in one sense, at Christmas are a symbol of light, a symbol of hope as well, you know, and the coming together of families.
Well, and that's why I wanted to do this show with you, Lorna, because your work is so joyful, and we certainly can use more of that in our world today. So just very briefly, for those of our listeners who may not be familiar with your story, when did you first start seeing angels?
I would always say from the moment I opened my eyes, because I can never remember a time not seeing the angels. I didn't know now that they were angels. You have to remember I was an infant lying in my cot. I recognized my mom as someone that fed me and hugged me and loved me, but I would see these angels, but I didn't know they were angels. It was only until I was about maybe, 2.5, and I was, toddling around the place, and it was one time I was sitting in front of the fire playing with my brother, and how can I describe this? He looked about 5 years old. He was way older than I was. And we were playing with little blocks that my dad had made for me to play with. And when we were playing, the only way I can describe it is like, his hand went into mine and mine went into his. And it made me laugh, but there was so much love and, what could I say, like all these sparks of life. And it was at that moment that the angels told me that they were angels and I must keep it a secret. But my brother was a soul, that he had died before I was born. And I just remember, seeing him so many times as a child in my life, even the time when the cat had kittens, and he calling me and lighting up the shed so I could see, because it was in Oakmead and it was very, very dark. It was like a workshop and there was no lights, and he just lit up a little path leading to where the cat had the kittens. Mm-hmm. And I have kept it a secret all my life. They were constantly reminding me, the angels, not to say anything. And sometimes when somebody would say something maybe negative towards me or that, the angels would say to me, Lorna, they know no better. Just love them. And I was considered retarded because I was dyslexic. But you have to remember, way back then in Ireland, they didn't even know anything about that. So if a child showed any learning difficulties, they were branded, retarded in that way, and you were put in the back of the class and all of that. Mm-hmm. But I've had the best teachers in the world.
Lorna, the angels have stayed with you throughout your life. When you see them, What form do they take? Is it a spirit? Is it a person? And do you see them all the time?
I see them all the time, okay, but I better explain. If I was looking out my window now, or I was walking down to the shops and people were walking towards me, or somebody was passing me by, I would see the guardian angel with them, that light of the guardian angel moving along with them. And on occasions, that light of the guardian angel would open up and it would give a human appearance, but not exactly, flesh and blood. It would be in the sense that human appearance of such light. And how would I say, their clothing is part of their body. The way we have skin and we put clothing over it, but their clothing is their body as well. And I just love the way they can change their clothing without taking it on and off like ourselves. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they do give a human appearance. They never want to frighten us. And your guardian angel and all angels just love us. And especially your guardian angel is the one angel that can never leave you for 1 second. And it loves you unconditionally. And to me, that is so precious. To know that no matter what you're going through in your life or what you're doing, there's someone that loves you, that God has given you a guardian angel, the gift of a guardian angel that can never leave you for 1 second.
Lorna, if you're sitting with someone and you always see an angel with that person, does it become distracting for you, or do you know how to, I don't want to say tune it out because you wouldn't do that, but do you know how to engage with the person and not really pay attention to the angel?
Yeah, I have to say I've had the best teachers going, so the angels have taught me how to do all of that, so it's normal and natural for me. You've got to remember, I'm seeing them since, I always say, the moment I opened my eyes as an infant. So it's normal and natural. I don't know what it's like for you not seeing them. To me, that is so puzzling that you don't see the angels and you're not hearing them as clearly as you're hearing me now talking to you on a mobile phone.
When you have that type of guidance and you're meeting a new person or you're meeting someone that perhaps you're supposed to help, they tell you the purpose of a meeting, right?
What would I say? They tell me what I need to know, but that doesn't mean I tell that person. I would never overstep those boundaries. Like I've often been sitting and talking with people, and what would I say? I know what's all behind the scenes for them,
right?
But they have taught me never to overstep the boundaries. And many, many a time I would say to the angels, and I'd say to God, I don't want to know everything. I just want to enjoy this person that I'm talking with, in that way. And they do that a lot as well. But at times, if there's something that I need to know, not for my benefit, but for their benefit, I would be told.
So you have this gift to one particular level, but can we learn how to talk with our angels?
Yes, I believe so. If I have learned, so why can't you learn as well? To me, it's kind of, it's really simple and easy. And I would often say to people, just say you're sitting in a cafe and you're enjoying a cup of tea or your coffee and you're waiting for a friend, but all of a sudden your attention is being attracted to somebody else in the cafe before your friend arrives, and you're being told to look over and give them a smile. A lot of the time we won't do that, because a lot of the time we feel, that's ridiculous or that's silly, but that is your guardian angel asking you to do that for a reason and a purpose that you don't need to know, because it's for the other person. And in a sense, we're always looking for the reason and the purpose for ourselves, but it's not always for yourself.
Does that happen all the time, Lorna, to us? Do you think that happens constantly?
I think that happens all of the time, that you're told to smile, you're to give someone a smile, to allow your love out, because in a sense we've all been hurt ourselves in so many different ways. But yet we've all had lots of joy in our lives as well at different times. But the hurt at times stops us from loving ourselves, because that's what the angels have taught me. And they have stopped us from loving others or being kind and showing compassion. So it's like, you're walking down the street, I'm telling people all over the world, just smile, because someone passing you by, you might just save their life because you smiled. And it doesn't cost you anything. But one thing it will do for you, and that is help you to feel happier and good and more peace within yourself. So it's good for you as well.
Lorna, do they want to help us? Do they want us to ask them to intercede?
Yeah, they do. And I would say to you, pester your guardian angel, keep on asking. Tell your guardian angel, to implore God for you. Even though when you're talking to your guardian angel and you're asking and you're even in a sense crying out, God hears you before even your guardian angel hears you. That's the only way I can explain it. But it's like your guardian angel is the gatekeeper of your soul. It's right there with you all of the time. And maybe in a human way we could say it's like an electricity wire, the message being passed before it has even crossed your mind. And I love that about the angels, because God has given each and every one of us a guardian angel. And just think about that. And it doesn't matter who you are or what faith you have or whether you believe in God or not. He's given you a guardian angel, and he's given you a beautiful soul as well, that spark of life.
Lorna, how do we meet our guardian angel? So many of us, we can say, guardian angel, please tell us who you are. And unless the angel says, hello, Joan, I'm Sam, we don't really get to know the angel, So what's the best way to introduce yourself and to listen to the response?
I think, I would have many people would say that's just what you said, that they don't know the name of their guardian angel. They don't even know their guardian angel. They would even say, I haven't ever felt the presence of my guardian angel around me. And I would just say to them, think about it. Look back through your life and try and recognize where something you can't explain has happened, or where you did something so correctly and it was so easy. And that would have been your guardian angel. And I would just say to you, if you don't have a name for your guardian angel, the most commonest name across the whole world is my guardian angel. An awful lot of people, that's what they call their guardian angel. They just say my guardian angel. But you can ask, and it's the first name that comes into your mind. The first word, I would say. It's not necessarily a name that you would recognize as a name. I always tell the story about the man in the audience. I was giving a talk in a theatre, and he was up the very, very back, and he was kind of, Lorna, I have a question. I need you to answer this for me. And he just said, I have been asking my guardian angel for its name, for the past 3 years, and all I get is no. And my guardian angel has never given it to me. And I just had to smile, but your guardian angel has. You just haven't listened. What do you think the guardian angel, the audience recognized the name of his guardian angel. The name of his guardian angel was no, So everyone smiled, and he was so happy to realize it. It's just that sometimes we don't cop on, or we don't realize, and sometimes it takes someone else to just say it to us. Are you sure you haven't received your guardian angel's name? What was the first word that came into your mind? And to remember that your guardian angel has a name, but the name is so long, and it only gives you a section of its name. It never gives you its full name. And I do love when I hear some of the names are so simple, like Sam or Michael or Isabella, or, names like that, because we recognize those names. And the little girl said to me recently that she was 10, she said, I didn't know I had a guardian angel, but I asked my guardian angel what its name was. And she said my guardian angel called itself Grasshopper, Grasshopper. And I just said to her, why do you think it called you Grasshopper? And she just said, well, I've thought about it. I do love running through the grass and jumping, and I love playing, what did you call it? Hopscotch, hopscotch that you draw on the ground, and you're hopping, from one box to another. So she was very happy. It's like to accept the name that you're being given and don't allow the world to influence you otherwise.
Do you think the angels are making their presence more known now? And if they are, why?
I do believe they're making their presence known more now. And I know that's what God wants, because we're not so afraid of angels, because we've always seen them as good most of the time, and the angels are good. And at the moment in the world today, we're all looking for hope. We're all looking for faith. We're all looking for, in a sense, a reason to live. What's life about? And I would always say life is very precious. It's about living. That's one thing the angels have always taught me. So they're in the world to help us, to guide us, and more so now than ever because of all the changes that are happening, so that we will make the right decisions, so that we'll go in the right direction as much as possible. And I don't think we'll go in the right direction fully, but I do believe most of us will listen and hear and will go in the right direction, and that will help those that are not going in the right direction, to bring them along, because we have to love them too. We can't say, oh, well, God didn't want them, or the angels didn't want them, but every human being has a guardian angel. So God, no matter who they are, has given them a guardian angel. And that's, I think, one thing we have to remember. When you're looking at someone and you don't agree with their opinion or their differences, I always say, take a deep breath, step back a little, and look at them, and know that that person standing in front of you has a soul, and a guardian angel is right there with that person.
Lorna, you're developing a retreat center in Ireland. Can you tell us a little bit about this and what your goals are and what you hope to achieve?
Well, my goals are, in a sense, I wouldn't put it in those words, what's my goals, because I never look on anything that's in my goals. They're God's and the angels' goals. They're Our Lady's goals. They're the goals of the world for this world of ours to be turned into that little glimpse of heaven, where we save our planet and where we save ourselves, and where there's more love and compassion. And the sanctuary here in Ireland is, the angels taught me everything out of nature. So it is to teach people how to connect with their guardian angel, how to love themselves, how to, in a sense, let go all of the pain and hurt, and to know that they're not alone, that they are loved, and I know there's many people out there that are lonely, but I'd love them to know, or to realize that their guardian angel has their arms around them. So, if anyone is interested, you just go to lornabyrne.com and go to the events page, and you'll find many things that we have on. And I'm hoping to get back to the States, to America. I think it's in July and August to go on tour. And I'm really looking forward to that as well, because America is the gateway. I know I've written about it in one of the books. It's the gateway to the future. And in a sense, America is so mixed. And God has had the American gathering angels, gathering people from all continents of the world to go to America and to become Americans, to become one nation. And I don't think American people realize how special and unique you are, and how spiritual you are. You fight it all of the time. And, to me, what God has done in my life is just an absolutely miracle, because I can't even read and write, and yet I've written 7 books, so you don't give up hope. The sanctuary is a sacred place, and the word Kilfane in Irish means sacred place, and I only found out about that about a year ago, and so I had to smile. This is something that is for the whole world, not just for myself, but for the whole world. And let love and healing go out from there and touch us all and make us the most unique human beings that we are, the incredible people that we are. I just love everyone. The angels have taught me to love everyone, regardless of what others might think of them.
And once again, Lorna's website is lornabyrne.com. Lorna, thank you so much for coming back on the show. As I said in the beginning, your work is so joyful, and it really is what we need now more than ever. And I just love working with you, and I can't wait until you come back again.
Well, hopefully I'll see you soon. And I look forward to when maybe you can come over here as well, or maybe bring a group of people with you. So
we're already planning that.
All my love and blessings. Yes, okay. I give all my love and blessings to everyone, all your listeners, to everyone around you, and for as many blessings as possible for each and every person. And happy Christmas, whether you celebrate Christmas or not. It's a very special time of the year where that veil is a little bit thinner.
Thank you for joining us. I hope you found the show informative. At Change Your Attitude, Change Your Life, we believe that knowledge is power. Take what you've learned, apply it, and live your best life now. Remember that the information provided is the opinion of our guest and should never replace the advice of a professional who knows your personal situation. If you'd like more information, visit our website, cyacyl.com. That stands for Change Your Attitude, Change Your Life. While on our site, listen to past shows on demand, read the digital magazine, sign up for our mailing list, and be sure to follow the show on social media. Until next time, this is Joan Herman. Thanks for tuning in.